Presentation of the NBA on St. Patrick's Day. I'm Kevin Harlan with Greg Anthony and Richard Jefferson alongside. David Aldridge is with us from the floor tonight. All right, a chance to check out stats for him.
He's been playing a much bigger role in their offense over the past 5 games. It comes across at his usage rate, which has gone up during that stretch. We'll see if they continue to lean on him here tonight.
Now a look at Philadelphia's starting lineup. Andre Drummond is out there with Oubre. Then it's George. Then there's Tyrese Maxey. And it's Grimes in at the shooting guard position. And for the Rockets, running the wings, they'll go with Green and Brooks. Alperen Sengun out there with Tari Eason. And it's Van Vliet in at the point. Entering the home stretch of the season, GA, how excited are you for the play-in tournament?
Oh, it's a lot of fun, Kevin. You can go from a 10th seed to making the playoffs. It makes this part of the year that much more entertaining.
Now here's Brooks. Sengun with a screen on George. And stolen by Drummond. Maxey against Van Vliet. Pass to Grimes. Now here's Maxey. 6 to shoot. Shoots over Van Vliet. And he gets that one to go off the front iron. Maxey's got the first points on the scoreboard for Philadelphia. Maxey against Van Vliet. Trying to find Brooks. He's got it now. Sengun kicks to Brooks. Over George. And Brooks gets it on the assist by Sengun.
He doesn't take a lot of time to make up his mind. Brooks always thinking ahead, and he's in position before the pass is made.
Here's Grimes. Playing Dallas, he was nearly unstoppable. Drummond with a screen on Green. Drains it from beyond the arc.
And they don't want to get in a habit of giving him open looks from 3. First quarter still, but not who you want to leave open.
Now here's Green. Some stats for him. He averages over 21 points a game. To the middle. Here's Sengun. And Philadelphia grabs the miss. Here's Grimes. Pass to Drummond. Kicks it out to Maxey. Grimes passes to George. Here's Maxey. There's the triple. The offensive rebound. And 2 shots coming up at the line as he gets fouled on the shot.
I think of Andre Drummond as a big man's big man. He's a steadfast presence in the paint who really focuses on owning the backboard and attacking the rim.
He misses the free throw. Hey, Greg, where do you think the Rockets are the strongest in their play?
I'd say on the glass. They generally do a good job crashing the boards and going for loose balls. They really value every possession.
And he's good on the second. The first quarter of action, 2 minutes in. Van Vliet finds Sengun. Outside, Green. Van Vliet looking around. Back to Green. And stolen by Maxey. And now Maxey pushing it up. And no one back there to stop him.
And he took off like a jet. Maxey, he's got some afterburners.
And so Van Vliet will bring it up for the Rockets. They trail by 6. And timeout is called by Ime Udoka. He's made the decision. He wants to huddle up with his guys. With a break in the action, let's take a peek at the real stats, real scores from the real NBA and the top rebounding teams in the league this season. The Rockets, number 1.
They are tenacious when it comes to attacking the backboard. Physical, smart, and determined. No surprise to see them at the top of the rankings.
And a little over 2.5 minutes gone here in the first. Paul George with the steal. One-on-one fast break. Oubre with it. They've been leaning on him for a decent chunk of their offense. He's averaging over 15 points a game. Pass to George. The three. Hits the three-point bomb. And taking a quick look here at the hustle stats for Philadelphia.
From the tip, they are not making things easy on them. Lots of steals, playing disruptive basketball.
And, guys, they've also done a great job generating offense from their defense, forcing turnovers and making the defense pay for those mistakes.
Certain times you can tell when a player is going to shoot the ball, and you can see that from Green on his way up the floor.
Maxey against Van Vliet. Maxey kicks to George. And the call on the shot that sends him to the line.
And you know, George is a tough cover. The length, the range, smooth athlete, very difficult to match up with.
Taking 2 shots.
First free throw is good.
And what I love about Paul George, the production, year after year after year.
And he can't hit the second. Rockets trail by 7. And now we've got some time to check in from the sidelines. You got for us, DA?
I was able to talk with Ime Udoka for a minute. When I asked him how hard it is to game plan for Paul George, he just chuckled. He said he's one of the hardest guys in the league to guard. I really challenged our team to make sure we're communicating whenever he has the ball. It'll be, as always, a team-first approach to slowing down PG-13. Back to you guys.
Okay, David, much appreciated. Here's Maxey, following the basket by Fred VanVleet.
This team wants Maxey to have the ball in his hands. He is a great decision maker that gets better every year.
Outside, Green. VanVleet sets the pick for Green. Into the lane, and he goes right over Paul George and slams it down.
If that doesn't belong in the dunk contest, then I don't know what was. That is an impressive finish there by Green.
And that last look brought to you by the AT&T 5G Slam King. The 76ers leading by 5. Oubre outside. Back to Maxey. Oubre outside. Pass to Grimes. Lock at 6. Drummond with a screen on Green. Here's Grimes. And the rebound goes to the Rockets.
And usually that's a bucket for him, but look, nobody's perfect in the mid-range.
And Alperon Şengün continues to prove himself, RJ, as one of the game's most promising big men.
Oh, a lot of it is because of his passing ability, Kevin. Shades of Nikola Jokic out there. Having a big man who can distribute like Şengün is a real luxury.
Now, here's Oubre. No scoring in this one. Here's Maxey. Here's Drummond. And Drummond throws it down.
Pursues the offensive glass with purpose. Drummond knows who he is, and boy, does he attack it.
Şengün with the screen for VanVleet. Over Maxey. Count that one from VanVleet. VanVleet's got his second basket of the game.
Pick works well there. Not much resistance from the D.
Yeah, that just comes down to a lack of effort. The defender has to do a better job fighting through the screen.
Oubre can't get it to go.
outstanding work to send him away. They sniffed that one out.
Back to Brooks. Outside, Green. Van Vliet sets the pick for Green. For three. Maxey grabs the miss. And it's Maxey with the ball for the Philadelphia 76ers. It's a 5-point game. Pass to Grimes. Drummond is doubled. Three-pointer. It's rebounded by Şengün. Rockets have gone 5 of 9 from the field here in the first. Here's Van Vliet. And Philadelphia grabs the miss. Here's Grimes. 5 points in the game. To the paint, and he gets the whistle for the 3-second call. Let's quickly take a look at the standings out west. The season nearly complete. Taking a look at Houston. Right now, they've acquired the second-best record in the conference.
And I think for the Rockets, their fans had high hopes for them this season, and they have not let them down. It's been a fantastic campaign thus far, and they really are set up perfectly for a deep run in the playoffs.
Yabusele, he's checked in for Kelly Oubre. And we've got a timeout called from Ime Udoka. He wants to make some adjustments to the game plan, clearly.
And a chance here to look at the numbers for Green. He's putting up about 21 points per, 4 rebounds, and 3 assists. And you look at his huge role in their offense, a major contributor as far as putting up points.
He's just a natural scorer and someone this offense leans on to help shoulder the load and lead the charge.
Wide open, couldn't capitalize. The 76ers leading by 5. Pass to George. Out left to the wing. Now Drummond. Taking a look at his stats, he's averaging around 7.5 points a game. The deep three from George. They get it back. And that one's good. Drummond's got 5.
Aggressive defense. The battle with Drummond inside is a collision waiting to happen.
Outside, Green. And some nice passing there by Houston. Eason gets a wide open look. That drops and it comes off an assist from Brooks.
Maybe he's not one of the elite sharpshooters, but even still, that's not a shot that D can afford to give him.
Pass to Grimes. Back to Maxey. Rejected by Van Vliet.
And perfect positioning from Van Vliet, wanting to block shots whenever he can. Great instinct.
Brooks. Bucket is good. Now just a 2-point 76ers lead. The 76ers have gone 7 of 15 from the field to this point. Şengün against Drummond. Pass to Grimes. George looking over the floor. Outside Maxey. Fred Van Vliet grabs the miss.
And already they've staked out a noticeable advantage in terms of aggression and controlling the backboard.
Looked like he just rushed it there. Just maybe take a little bit more time in the future.
Pass to Grimes. Maxey with the screen on Green. Grimes with the bucket.
Oh, man, he's feeling it this quarter. They should be looking to get him going every trip down the floor.
Now, here's Green. 5 points in the game. Van Vliet outside. And he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up. That one on Maxey. Greg, what's the key thing Fred Van Vliet brings to this offense?
I feel like he's really a centering presence, Kevin. The guys can look to him to call the play, to give them their orders, and trust that he's setting them up for success.
First free throw is good. And Van Vliet, not the same scorer he once was, Richard, but he has improved his playmaking.
And that's the adjustment that Van Vliet needed to make. The scoring doesn't always have to be there for him. But if he can set up, facilitate, and be a game manager, he'll find a large role.
Catching up on the changes for Houston. Adams, he's checked in for Şengün. Smith comes in for Tari Eason. And it's Jayshawn Tate in for Brooks.
From G League to a big-time player, Van Vliet's journey is nothing short but inspirational.
The three from George. Fred Van Vliet grabs the miss. Rockets trail by 3. Inside. Pass to Green. Six feet out. And Philadelphia grabs the miss. Their last encounter was in Philadelphia.
And their last time playing this club, foul trouble became a big problem for them. Their starters had to take an early stint on the bench.
Expect to see them being much more careful tonight because of that. Maybe being a little less aggressive.
And it's the 76ers with the ball. After Jalen Green's miss.
And even without that three ball dropping for him, the defense should have done more on that last play.
Van Vliet passes to Adams. Back to Van Vliet. And he drops in the layup off the glass. Van Vliet's got 8.
Ready to play rough inside. Van Vliet navigates the contact.
1:31 left in the first quarter. Butler sets a screen for George. Jacks up a 3. And the 3 ball is good. 7 points in the game.
Yeah, these defenders had better start closing down on shooters.
Van Vliet against Butler. Smith with a wide open look. And they wasted no time getting those 3 points back.
Supreme confidence. Smith really stretches the floor with his ability to shoot.
Butler against Van Vliet. Butler passes to George. Another 3 for Philadelphia.
Their third three-pointer in a row.
And here's Green. He'll bring it up for the Houston Rockets. Trailing by 4. Pass to Smith. Van Vliet outside. Tries from 16. Paul George grabs the miss.
They hold the early advantage on the glass.
Butler with the ball. Back to George. Fires from deep. And the rebound goes to the Rockets. This game coming on the heels of their win against Chicago.
Yeah, and that one, their intensity on the offensive end was not matched by their opponent. That led to some easy buckets.
And on top of probably having the better talent, they never let up. Great effort, great win.
And that concludes the first quarter of play. 76ers lead by 4. It's the NBA on 2K Sports from Toyota Center. And as we return, it's Noche Latina, celebrating the NBA's connection to the Latin American community. What stands out to you guys from the 76ers in this one?
Coming in hot. They were sharp from the perimeter right out of the gate.
And as long as the threes are dropping, you've got to keep launching them.
And here is Butler. Still scoreless. Taking a look at the 76ers. They've got Lonnie Walker, Kelly Oubre out there with Edwards. Then it's Butler. And it's Yabusele in at the center position. And that one's good by Butler. Butler's got the first points up on the board here in the second quarter for the 76ers. Butler against Holiday. Pass to Şengün. Şengün, and Şengün is right there.
You know, we talk about it all the time, guys. Those second chance buckets, always the result of that extra effort.
Butler feeling out a bit. Here's the floater. Şengün with the rebound. Şengün's got his 5th rebound in this one. Smith finds Holiday. And some nice passing there by Houston. Here's Şengün. Solid play on the low block, and that one's good. Şengün's got 4 this quarter.
Şengün beats you with finesse and physicality.
Time now to turn to our sideline reporter, David Aldridge. David.
Thanks, Kevin. Alperen Şengün is a weapon on the block. Coach Ime Udoka said there are not a ton of true low-post threats in the NBA nowadays. Joel Embiid, Jokic, I don't know how many others there are anymore. Alpy's had success against pretty much everybody that's guarded him. Kevin, his footwork is indeed high level.
DA totally agree. Great footwork. Moves on moves, I've always said.
A powerful finisher. Oubre Jr., you deserve to get dunked on when you let him get inside.
Şengün with a screen on Walker. Here's Whitmore. The shot goes in. First shot, first basket. And something that every NBA player has now that maybe they didn't a couple years ago, RJ, their own personal trainer.
Well, it's just a beautiful investment of your own resources back into your body. I love that players are hiring chefs, dietitians, sleep aides, and the teams are hiring them. I love every aspect of it.
Now, here is Smith. He had a 12-point outing in their last game against Chicago.
He's more than chipped in on the glass as well. Just a tremendous effort last time out.
6 on the shot clock. Houston needs to get a shot up. 2 points. That one goes. And that's now 6 points for Şengün.
Pretty much all of their buckets coming from inside the paint now.
Here's Butler. Count the bucket. And he's got a free throw coming up as well.
Yeah, and there it is again. On a lot of their possessions this first half, they've established great inside position.
And this is his first trip to the line tonight.
Butler, 1 shot.
The free throw drops for Butler. Rockets trail by 6. Holiday looking over the floor. Pass to Şengün. Five to shoot.
And really, these are some of the toughest calls an official has to make.
So for the Rockets, Tari Eason's checked in for Jayshawn Tate. And it's Fred VanVleet in for Aaron Holiday. VanVleet against Butler. Shot from 12. Count it, and the 76ers lead has been cut down now to just 4 points with the basket from VanVleet. The 76ers have gone 4 of 7 from the field in this second quarter so far. Butler with the ball. His last outing, he had 8 points. Down low. Abu Saleh kicks to Butler. 4 on the shot clock. And a miss there on the triple. The Rockets have gone 5 of 8 from the floor here in the second quarter. Over 60% shooting. Smith the pass to VanVleet. Driving to the basket. Rebound by the 76ers. Their biggest lead of the game was 9. And he's going up for the alley-oop.
Beautiful reverse jam right there.
Use the rim to protect the ball, I think. The 10-footer. VanVleet can't get that one to fall. Philadelphia leading by 6. Here's Butler. Misses in close. Now Eason. He averages more than 12 points a game. That's some dependable production. Pass to Smith. Now Whitmore. Smith sets the pick for Whitmore. Stolen by Walker. And the layup's good off the glass. Walker's got his first points of the night. Here's Eason. And here is Şengün. Pass to Whitmore. Eason with it. Edwards defending. Shot clock at 6. With the step back. Here's Van Vliet. Edge Bona with the rebound.
And to put things simply, this has not been his quarter.
Butler dishes to Edwards. Back to Butler. The 76ers need to get off a shot. No good from Yabusele. And it's Van Vliet with the ball for Houston. 8-point game. Good for another field goal. Number 5 in the night. 5 for 10 shooting.
Talk about being locked in. Superb focus from Van Vliet offensively so far.
Incredible for his age. The decision-making of Şengün GA is very impressive.
So calm when he sees a double coming. Reads and reacts with ease when he's on the block or at the nail. Reminds you of a young Jokic with how he sees the game.
Now here's Van Vliet. 23 points for him the last game against Chicago.
And he didn't just create offense for himself now. He did a tremendous job of setting up his teammates as well.
For the Rockets, Brooks comes in for Jabari Smith. And Jalen Green subbed in for Cam Whitmore. Andre Drummond's checked in for Philadelphia. Tyrese Maxey comes in for Walker. And we will have a timeout called by Nick Nurse. This will give him a chance to discuss some potential alterations. Some changes for Philadelphia. Paul George is checked in for Edwards. And it's Quentin Grimes in for Butler. Maxey on the wing. Covered by Van Vliet. Maxey passes to Grimes. Drummond with a screen on Green. To the inside. And it's Drummond with the jam.
Once Drummond gets the ball there, you can kiss it goodbye.
Van Vliet kicks to Şengün. To the paint. Looking for Eason. He gets it there. For 3, Van Vliet. And it's good. Assisting on the play was Brooks. Brooks has got 3 assists tonight.
When he gets a quality look like this at the perimeter, he can almost be automatic.
Yabusele passes to Maxey. Here's Yabusele. Just 5 to shoot. Pass to George. Stolen by Brooks. Now Van Vliet. Now here's Şengün. No good on the triple. Maxey against Van Vliet. Outside, Maxey. Here's Grimes. Hits it from 3-point range. Grimes has got 11 points.
Smart pass from the quick-thinking Maxey. Outstanding at finding uncovered teammates.
Rockets trail by 8. Şengün with the screen for Van Vliet. Brooks outside. And here's Green outside. Maxey grabs the miss. Maxey's got 4 rebounds now tonight. Grimes passes to Drummond. Outside for George. A chance there to push it to double digits, but it's off the mark. Houston's gotten fewer than half of their three-pointers to go down tonight. They're 4 for 9. Green passes to Van Vliet. Green with a screen on Maxey. Van Vliet finds Şengün. Now here's Brooks, defended by George. It's 3-on-3 on the fast break. Maxey passes to Grimes. Drummond in the post. Eason on him. Abusele can't hit.
And I think that one could have easily have fallen for him.
Brooks the pass to Van Vliet. Şengün with a screen on Maxey. Inside. And Şengün throws it down.
Set him up, and Şengün executed the pick and roll to perfection.
Van Vliet against Maxey. Pass to Grimes. George with the ball. Maxey looking it over. From outside, off the mark. Nuggets trail by 6. Brooks the pass to Eason. And here is Şengün. Here's Van Vliet. He's covered by Maxey. And the 3 off target. Philadelphia shooting 44% from the floor since we began the second quarter. And he banks in the layup. Maxey's got 6.
Maxey just completely disregarding the defense because he can.
Eason with a screen for Van Vliet. Eason passes to Van Vliet. 1:27 left to play here in the half. And it's Green with the jam.
Let me tell you this, if you got a vertical leap of 40 inches like Green, you're just going to be able to glide to the rim like that.
Pass to Grimes. Outside, George sinks the triple. 13 points in the game.
And let's see, guys, if that triggers another little explosion from him after hitting 3 triples in that first quarter.
Outside, Green. Back to Van Vliet. To the middle. Here's Şengün. That shot missing. Good D by Drummond. Philadelphia leading by 9. It's George on the wing. Brooks covering. Yabusele. And it hung on the rim, but wouldn't fall for him.
And there comes a point when, for the team's sake, you might want to move it. He's hurting them with all of these misses.
Brooks, the pass to Eason. Here's Green. Down low. Here's Şengün. Terrific assist. A nice finish. Solid play all around.
That is where Şengün is best, around the hoop with great touch.
Now, here's Maxey. Puts up a 3. Oh, he nails it just in time.
One eye on the rim, one on the clock. What a play.
Boy, that was close. Got it in just in the nick of time.
And so it's the Philadelphia 76ers going into the break with a 10-point lead. They've dictated the pace, pushed the ball at every chance, and it's paying off for them. And now let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's standing by from the sideline. All right, Dave.
Thank you, Kevin. Andre, big first half, a lot of energy. What are you guys doing differently tonight?
With active hands on the defensive end, it really got us all hyped up. And, it translates to the offensive end as well, too. So, we're looking real good right now. We just got to put it together in the second half, too.
Transition really working well for you in the first half, Andre. Thanks. Back to you, Kevin.
Thanks for the great interview, David. And we'll be back for the third quarter of basketball following halftime.
Halftime show coming at you. Paul George has been electric here so far.
Putting up points, not shy looking for his shot, man. And he's been carrying the load offensively.
Yes, he understands his role and what he needs to do to keep this team successful.
Okay, now we've got some time to take a look at the Eastern Conference standings as the postseason comes into view.
Taking a look here now at the 76ers, they've wanted this to be a turnaround season. They have a few building blocks, but the roster construction is not complete. This front office has some tough decisions to make.
Thank you for being with us. Now let's send it to Kevin Harlan for the second half tip.
And it's good to have you back with us as we celebrate St. Patrick's Day with more NBA action on 2K Sports. Fred VanVleet has been sensational.
And even with the defense shading towards him on every trip down, he still finds a way to come up big.
He's just that good. You can plan for him, but he just makes great adjustments on the fly.
Here's Maxey. At the guard positions, VanVleet and Green. Tari Eason is out there with Alperen Şengün. And it's Brooks in at the small forward position. And that's the group in there for Ime Udoka as we begin the second half. Green finds Eason. Can't connect from short range. The 76ers leading by 10. Here's Grimes. To the paint. Here's Drummond, and Drummond throws it down.
And we always talk about making your teammate better. That assist was right on target.
Pass to Şengün. Now Brooks, defended by George. It's tipped. It's going to be out of bounds. The Rockets will retain possession. Here's what the Houston Rockets schedule looks like. On Wednesday, they'll tip off a road trip starting in Orlando and going up against the Magic. And then on Friday, they'll take on Kevin Love and the Miami Heat.
And you know, for that matchup with Denver, there aren't many other meetings that are as evenly matched as this one. Both teams can give and take punches, and this one, I think, is going to come down to the wire.
Şengün with the bucket.
There's a lot of confidence in Şengün's game. He doesn't hesitate. He gets after it.
Maxey against VanVleet. Drummond with a screen on VanVleet. To the right side. Outside, George. Drummond sets the screen for George. Pulls it up. They get it back. Second chance shot. And there's the nice layup by Drummond. Drummond's got 11 points.
A tall and powerful big. Drummond has a natural ability to finish inside.
Şengün kicks to VanVleet. Şengün with the screen for VanVleet. Pass to Eason. Some nice passing there by Houston. Screen by Şengün. Shot's good by Green.
Just a beautiful jump shot. Green is the prototype NBA 2 guard.
VanVleet against Maxey. Drummond a screen. Maxey against VanVleet. A jump hook and Andre Drummond. The bucket on the assist by Maxey. Maxey's got assist number 5 here tonight. And so VanVleet will bring it up for Houston. They trail by 11. And that'll be the first of a 2-game road trip for them. And it's sent back by Drummond.
Not letting that one fly. Drummond using his height and wingspan to deny the shooter.
And here's Green outside. Rebound by the 76ers. Drummond's got rebound number 7 for him tonight. Maxey passes to Drummond. Drummond with a screen on VanVleet. Maxey with it. Picked up by Van Vliet. Good on the three-point shot. George has got the lead up to 14 now for the 76ers.
And what a smooth three-point shot. George has worked hard to develop that stroke.
Van Vliet outside. There's Green with the three. Good, and Van Vliet gets the assist. He's got 12.
And an eye for an eye. Both teams working to stretch the floor.
This is today's NBA. Hey, we see this kind of exchange more often than not.
And we will have a timeout called by Nick Nurse. He's ready to talk things through with the team. As we get a break in the action now, let's take a look at the East and how the teams are stacking up. You take a look at the 76ers. Their season nearly over unless a form of miracle happened.
And right now for the 76ers, they have been one of the major surprises in the NBA this season. Unfortunately, for the wrong reasons.
And we keep waiting for them to turn it around. And waiting. And waiting. And at this point in time, I'm just going to say it's probably not going to happen.
Now here's Drummond. He's got 13. Here's Maxey. Brooks grabs the board. Brooks has got his 5th rebound in this one. You talk about reputations, RJ. Few have one like Dylan Brooks.
I'll give it to this man. He is fearless. He doesn't care if it's Steph, LeBron, his mom, whoever. Dylan is trying to get in their head. You want guys like that on your side.
The 76ers leading by 11. Grimes passes to Oubre. Drummond sets the screen for George. Over Brooks. And all around the rim that time before dropping in. George has got 18 points in the game.
A good ball handler with an advanced offensive repertoire. George is more than comfortable in the pick and roll.
Şengün kicks to Green. And Green slams it in.
I mean, he's just been brilliant today, guys. And it was the same exact story last time out.
Philadelphia's gone 1 of 2 from beyond the arc since coming out of the break. Now, here's Maxey. And the layup falls. He's got 11.
Nice work on the interior. Maxey looks so composed amongst those trees.
Outside, Green. Green draws the double. Back to Van Vliet. And it's sent back by Drummond. Van Vliet against George. To the middle. It's deflected. And here we go. Van Vliet heading to the hoop. And it goes down 2 points.
Nice anticipation from Şengün to get the steal, which leads to the fast break.
Pass to Grimes. Oubre kicks to George. And it's off from three-point range.
His shot's just, it's not there right now. With his team leading, perhaps, let's focus on some other areas of the game.
It's time now to hear from our Hall of Fame reporter, David Aldridge. What's the latest, David?
Kevin, improving dialogue between players and officials is a priority. Commissioner Silver says, now with high-fidelity audio, we're all able to hear a lot of what's being said. Now we have to take into account the high-stress environment. But there has to be a two-way sense of respect. I feel it's an area where we can make progress. Kevin?
The commissioner's always looking ahead and looking at every area, which is great for the game. Whistle blows, bucket is good, and he'll have a chance at the line to make it a three-point play. That sends Dylan Brooks to the free throw line. That one on George. And a chance for just a second to check out the scoring breakdown for the 76ers.
All game long, they've been making it rain from the arc. And look, they've done it by feeding the hot hands.
And another thing, they continue to work it inside and score. It's clear their game plan is attacking the paint as much as possible.
And that one falls for Brooks.
And there's a flexibility to Brooks's game. He can play a specific role for you, or he can be a high-usage guy. Really depends on what a team needs from night to night.
Tari Eason's checked in for the Rockets. And we've got a quick moment now to take a look at the long-term rebounding numbers over several seasons for Alperen Şengün.
On the boards, he's been a much bigger presence these last few years than he had been prior. And he can be counted on now to make an impact with his rebounding. And that's a product of all the work he's put in down low.
Smith finds Van Vliet. Now Green. Van Vliet outside. To the inside. Just 5 on the clock. Şengün no good.
Those are chances almost always you can rely on him to get you 2 points, but the D just enough to keep him out of rhythm. Well, they'll be happy with that look, even though it didn't fall.
Tough to watch those miss. I'm sure they'll convert the next chance.
Now here's Van Vliet. 17 points in the game. Here's Eason. From downtown. Shot is good, and the 76ers lead is cut down now to just 7 on the bucket from Van Vliet.
After sinking one triple in the first quarter, he nails another one in the second quarter. He's got it going on.
Van Vliet against Butler. Outside, George. The 76ers with another miss.
And even though the quarter has been a struggle, it doesn't look like he's lost his confidence. He keeps looking for a shot. Coming off a big game, his confidence couldn't be higher, and coach knows it.
When it ain't broke, leave it alone. Until someone stops him, just let it roll.
Here's Yabusele. Nothing on the board. Butler passes to Oubre. Butler against Van Vliet. There's the pick. From deep. Sinks the three-pointer. Butler's got his third basket of the night right there.
When he has that much space, he's a pretty good bet to nail the three.
Van Vliet kicks to Smith. Green against George. Şengün with a screen on George. Green inside. Kicks it out to Van Vliet. Another shot. Makes it off the glass. Van Vliet's got 7 points here in this quarter.
And there's a pattern starting to take shape here. They're working it inside and getting good shots from close range.
And it's Nick Nurse calling timeout here. He's going to have a discussion here on the sideline. And he's checked in for the Rockets. Jay Shante comes in for Tari Eason. George dishes to Butler. Six to shoot. And there's the call on Jared Butler. That is his first foul of the game.
Yeah, really good defensive play to cut him off there and square up.
And the replay demonstrating once again how aggressive that defense was.
And a block like that sends a message. One that says we're not giving up this lead.
Rockets trail by 6. And here is Van Vliet. 22 points for him. No good that time. And so Edwards will bring it up for the 76ers. They've led by as many as 14 points. Beyond the arc. Offensive rebound. George. Got it. Good job in the low post. George has got 20 points.
Great anticipation from George there. Plus the long body, the quickness. Nice play.
Green with the screen on Butler. Lets it go from deep. Van Vliet can't get it to go. The 76ers leading by 8. Outside Butler. Pass to George. with the floater. Fouled in the act of shooting. Gets the bucket anyway, so a three-point play chance for him.
Solid play there from PG. Absorbing the contact, but staying with that shot for the and one.
And this is his second trip to the line in the game. Whitmore, he's checked in for Fred VanVleet. Green with the ball. He's got 14.
2 minutes remaining in the third. 2 minutes.
Green draws the double. And Adams kicks to Tate. Smith the pass to Adams. And some nice passing there by Houston. The Rockets with another miss. The 76ers leading by 11. Outside, George. 2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul. And now let's take a look at the number of second chance points these teams have had over the last month. These guys never give up on a possession. Fifth best, the Rockets.
They have been aggressive underneath. I mean, they're playing with a physicality that you don't often see, and it's led to a lot of second chance points.
First one falls for him. He hits one, then misses the second attempt from the free throw line. Inside, here's Smith. Goes back up. He takes it up and lays it in. Smith's got 5.
And not being as aggressive from the three-point line anymore. They had a lot more attempts in that first half.
Green against Butler. 1:07 left to play in the third. Good on the triple. Butler's got 6 points in the quarter.
And at the offensive end, he's done about as much as they could have hoped for today.
Now, Whitmore, taking a look at the scoring numbers. Right now, he averages about 9 points a game. Taken away. Outside, Edwards. Here's Butler. And Philadelphia making a change here. Walker's checked in.
Number 16, Lonnie Walker IV.
Rockets trail by 13. 34 seconds left to play here in the third. Whitmore with it, working on Walker. Outside, Green lets it go with a 3. It's hauled in by the 76ers. Abusele's got his 5th rebound right now in the game.
Oh, and the lead gets bigger on a ridiculous offensive sequence.
That dunk alone would have been spectacular. Never mind it coming at the end of an alley-oop. And the wide open shot from Green. Gets it to go from beyond the arc. Green's got 2 now from beyond the arc in the third for Houston. Paul George, he's been the guy making things happen for Philadelphia. He has really delivered at the offensive end. He's torched them for 24 points so far. And we've got more M2K Sports coming your way after this break. And let's go back to a terrific pass that we're calling tonight our State Farm assist of the game.
Yeah, an easy choice tonight. Look at the precision on this pass. Put it on a platter for him.
You've got to admire the vision just as much as the accuracy. Not many players can even spot that pass.
And there may not be a lot of drama down the stretch as we head into the fourth quarter, but stranger things have happened. On the court for Philadelphia to start the fourth, Lonnie Walker is out there with Butler. Then there's Edwards. And it's Bona in at the 5, down low.
And Whitmore, a beast inside because of his power and ability to elevate.
Outside, Walker. Outside, Edwards. And Walker kicks to Butler. There's the screen. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Off target with his 3. Rockets trail by 10. Outside, Holiday. To the middle. They double team Şengün. Outside, Holiday. Out of bounds. Philadelphia takes possession.
Philadelphia ball.
And Walker's got the ball here for Philadelphia. The biggest lead of the game, 15 points. Pass to Yabusele. Back to Walker. Five on the clock. And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here. That's on Cam Whitmore.
For the 76ers, Lonnie Walker the fourth, taking 2 shots.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
And he makes the first. No good on the second free throw. Rockets trail by 11. To the paint. Here's Smith. And it's Smith finishing it off.
And guys, we're going to see a lot of that from this young man. Smith right now, beasting.
Outside, Walker. And there's the call. It's going to be an illegal screen.
He did a good job of taking care of the ball in the first half, but he's been pretty sloppy since the break with it.
Rockets shooting it pretty well, close to 50%. Up top, Şengün. Pass to Whitmore. Back to Şengün. Nice pass. Led him to the rack perfectly for the layup. 17 points for Şengün. The 76ers leading by 7. Walker surveying the floor. Takes the 3. Hands it from downtown. Walker's got 4 points this quarter.
He's just stretching them out. The defense has got to do a better job of staying attached to him.
And the lack of defensive pressure on shots like that is a big reason they're down by double digits.
Now, here's Şengün. Tate kicks to Smith. And they come right back with their own three-pointer.
As a player, a rough first half, look, it can wake you up. Sometimes it leads to much improved play in the second half.
And here's Walker outside. And the rebound goes to the Rockets.
Rare you'll see him miss such an open look.
Misses the 3. The 76ers leading. Well, their pass it to Yabusele. And the shot goes in.
And that's how you lead a team. Literally.
Şengün. Second personal foul. Second team foul.
The Rockets making a switch here. Van Vliet's checked in.
Gershon Yabusele. 1 shot.
1 shot.
third minute of action now gone here in the fourth. Driving in, lays it up off the glass. Van Vliet's got 9 points here in the second half.
Well, we've seen that movie a few times, haven't we? An easy bucket in the paint.
Walker in the post. Whitmore defending. Edwards passes to Yabusele. 6 on the shot clock. Shot's good by Walker. Walker's got 6 here in this quarter.
When you allow good scorers to get uncontested shots at the rim, no wonder you're losing.
That's a great possession. Put your best players in a position to succeed.
Now here's Van Vliet. They double-team Şengün.
He's a tough matchup inside. Şengün can body you, or he can finesse you.
First team foul. At the line for Houston, Alfred Şengün, taking 2 shots.
That free throw missing.
We're starting to get a better sense of the player that Şengün is. An agile big man who really brings a lot of energy to the floor.
And Philadelphia making a change here. Maxi's checked in. And he ends up missing both free throws. The 76ers leading by 10. Here's the lob to the hoop.
You can tell Maxey enjoys moving the ball. He likes setting up other guys.
Now here's Van Vliet. Tate a screen on Butler. And here's Van Vliet from the arc. The Rockets with another miss. And so it's Butler with it. He'll bring it up for the 76ers. The biggest lead of the game, 15 points. Count it, number 5 from the floor this game. He's now 5 of 11.
Unselfish play by Maxey. He's learned to get his teammates involved.
Here's Van Vliet. Pass to Şengün. Şengün throws it down.
Punishing the rim right there. Şengün.
76ers have gone 5 of 7 from the field since the beginning of the fourth. Strong work at that end of the floor. Takes the 13-footer. Tate with the rebound. Nuggets trail by 12. Pass to Whitmore. Down low. Here's Smith. The rebound by Yabusele. Yabusele's got his 7th rebound here tonight. Edwards against Tate. Here's Maxey. A second chance effort. Out to Edwards. Van Vliet against Butler. Clock at 6 for the 3. And it's Whitmore with the rebound. Rockets have gotten into a pretty good groove, going 6 of 10 here in the final quarter. And foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line.
You can't be overzealous trying to guard Van Vliet. That's how you get in trouble.
At the line for 2, Fred Van Vliet.
Free throw good, Van Vliet for the Rockets. Tari Eason's checked in for Jason Tate. And Jalen Green subbed in for Cam Whitmore. And so Van Vliet nails both of them. And here's Maxey. Oubre outside. Pass to Grimes. Outside, George. Over Eason. And that one comes up a bit short. Rockets trail by 10. Van Vliet finds Şengün. Eason against George. Smith with it. Şengün with the ball. Van Vliet outside. The three. The Rockets again can't hit.
And as long as he keeps missing from deep, the D will keep letting him fire away. He's just off from range right now.
And here's George for three. Gets the three-pointer to fall. George has got 27 points.
And we know George can score from all three levels, which is why he's capable of catching fire.
Here's Eason. And the dunk by Eason.
And no doubt they'd love to see him get a lot more of those opportunities.
And that deficit will go away quickly if he does, Greg. Now, here's Maxey. Looking to end his cold spell. And the rejection by Smith.
A relentless defender. Smith proving how disruptive he can be on that end.
And it's Green missing. The 76ers leading by 11. Outside, Maxey. Drummond working against Şengün. Pass to Grimes. Şengün against Drummond. Will not go. This is off the front iron. The Rockets have gone 7 of 13 from the field here in the fourth. Van Vliet kicks to Green. That falls. Great assist by Van Vliet. Van Vliet's got 6 assists in the game. Philadelphia's gone 2 of 5 on three-point shots since the end of the third quarter. Oubre against Smith. Now, here's Maxey. He's tightly guarded. With the drive, and slam dunk by Maxey.
Oh, the electric Tyrese Maxey.
Nice job capturing the moments on the AT&T 5G Slam Cam. Now Van Vliet. And we've got a timeout called from Ime Udoka. He has decided it's the right time to talk. Brooks checked in for Houston. And let's head over to the sideline and catch up with David Aldridge.
Thank you, Kevin. During the last break, got to listen in on Ime Udoka's huddle with his team. Now, Coach talked all about fouls in that huddle. He reminded them, play defense with our feet. Beat them to the spots. Hands straight up. Don't give them a chance to blow the whistle on us. Back to you guys.
Thank you, David. And stolen by Drummond. Outside, George. Here's Oubre. And the rebound goes to the Rockets. Van Vliet's got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight. Green bounce pass. Eason finds Van Vliet. Houston moving the ball around. Van Vliet with a screen on Oubre. Shot clock at 5. Fires away from way outside. Shot by Eason, no good. The 76ers leading by 10. Grimes passes to Maxey. Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws.
Team foul. Shooting for Philadelphia, Quentin Grimes. At the line for 2.
break. Take a break. 2 shots.
And the first one drops. Both good from the line that time. Now here's Van Vliet. Şengün with a screen on Maxey. Van Vliet can't get it to go. And so it's Oubre with it. He brings it up for the 76ers. Grimes passes to Maxey. Oubre against Green. Outside, George. 5 on the clock. The 76ers again can't hit it.
And even against defense as tight as that, you almost expect him to still bury those.
Van Vliet passes to Şengün. Back to Van Vliet.
2 minutes remaining in the game. 2 minutes.
Gets the leaner to fall. Van Vliet's got 13 points in the second half.
Physical play does not bother Van Vliet at all.
George against Brooks. And George kicks to Oubre. Pass to Grimes. Back to Oubre. Van Vliet against Maxey. Drummond with a screen on Van Vliet. Maxey, no good.
And not allowing the shooter even an inch of breathing room on that one.
I'm sure they'll think twice about shooting against him next time.
Now here's Green. From the arc. Oubre pulls it in.
Hard to figure out how he doesn't knock that one down. No defender in sight.
Here's Grimes. Drummond in the post. Şengün's there. Outside for George. Off target from three-point range. It's going to take something special for him to make a comeback here.
And the question, Kevin, is do they have the time to do it and the patience? You'd have to say it's a long shot.
Philadelphia with the ball. Maxey passes to Drummond. Here's Grimes, guarded by Green. Drummond with a screen on Green. Back to Drummond. Uses the glass to finish the layup. And the 76ers lead by 12.
They just blocked out the noise, kept on grinding, and this is their reward.
All road wins. They're just so sweet. They're just so sweet. You know why? Because they are so hard to come by.
Now here's Green. Andre Drummond grabs the miss. So it's the 76ers winning this one easily. They came in here and took care of business like they were the home team.
And Kevin, how about the mental toughness that this group showed? They were never rattled at all by the opposing fans.
A chance now to send it over to David Aldridge, standing by courtside. David.
Hey, thanks, Kevin. PG, you guys look confident out there, and especially yourself. How were you so effective offensively?
I just kept moving. You know, within our offense, you know, the key is to move. You know, my teammates do a great job of setting screens and getting me open. You know, I just got to, you know, stay within offense.
Well, it was great flow tonight, and it led to a good win, man. Congratulations. Kevin, all yours.
Much appreciated, David. And that's going to do it tonight, folks, for our broadcast. Along with Greg Anthony, Richard Jefferson, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan. Thank you for watching tonight's presentation on 2K Sports. And now we present the player of the game, Andre Drummond.